Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome to my channel. We will do today the 12th personality test worksheet, time preference, or what I would even call time experience. How does one experience time? How do you experience time? So basically, there are two aspects we need to see this. This is from a neuro-linguistic perspective. One is called in time and one is called through time, as you can see there on the pie chart. Now, this Excel sheet, for those who are new to my channel, it's in the description box. In my Google Drive, you can download it and do it yourself. There are 50 questions. If you can scroll down, okay. There are totally about 50 questions you have to answer. Why so many? Well, we need to know how you perceive time. This is not very well thought of by people. What is your perception of time? The classical texts would say something like, the through time people will describe time, past and future. Basically, those are the time aspects. Past, they will describe as, if you ask them, how do you perceive time? They will say, past is on my left and future is on my right. So they will point in front of them as a time scale, right? Going from left to right, past to future. The present moment being the middle of that scale, for example. That's the through time people. The in time people will describe past and future as front and back passing through them. Okay? So they will describe past as something they will point behind their back. That's my past, one which has gone behind me. And where's your future? Right in front of me. These are two different perspectives as told by classical neuro-linguistic texts. So, if you go through these 50 questions, you will come across how you perceive time. Or if you're taking test with a friend or your colleagues or your family, you will find out how they perceive time. It's very important because we work within the zone of time, all of us, from morning till night, right? So you need to know what's your perception of that time. How do you feel that time? So what's time experience like? If you're more in time, let's see these descriptions first. Okay? If you're more in time, you live in the moment. These are the in the moment people. Not worrying about what comes next. Take it as it comes, kind of. You're fully engaged in the present and you value each moment as an experience in time. Therefore, it is called in time experience. If you're more of a through time person, you spend your time planning and making sure you're not late for meetings if you're working in an office, for example. Your preoccupation with planning and your next moment or analyzing the last may prevent you from concentrating on the matter at hand. You're not so much in the present moment. You see the difference there. In time, people are very much in the moment. Through time, people, although almost as standing away from time, like sort of stepping back from time and observing time as an objective phenomena. That's the difference. And if you're somebody who's into spirituality, meditation, you'll notice this a lot. In time, people have a easier way in getting in the zone, for example. The through time people have a more difficult time getting in the moment. You see, because meditation is all about getting in the moment. So what are the advantages here? The in-time advantages, you can concentrate on tasks emotionally and mentally, engaged in each activity and every experience. So the in-time people, for example, in this case, this person, test case, is more of an in-time person. 65% is in time. Only 35% of the time their brain is working on a through-time mode or planning mode. This is execution mode, this is planning mode. You can also take it a number of ways here. Disadvantages, they're frequently late and can give impression of not being concerned about timekeeping. Ironically, the person in time is not very time aware, is he? Is more in the present moment. At the present moment, if you have any bent of spiritual thinking, The now, as they call it, the present moment, is all there is. But then you have less perception of past and future. You're already in that zone. Okay? Whereas the through time can stand back, observe, and take things as they come. Disadvantages they can give frequently, okay, we covered this, may get involved in too many things at the same time through attachment. So the in time person is very in the zone of the present moment, therefore very involved in the time experience. This is how they are experiencing time itself. Okay. The through time advantages is a good planner and timekeeper, but they are not very much in time. Therefore, they are not missing out on all kinds of experiences. You see, the in time has a very acute experience of time, whereas the through time person is more objective in nature, more logical, more left-brained in nature. Now, coming to the astrological part of it, it gets interesting because this is the way I got it. The in-time person has more planets or points in the 1-7 axis, that is your ascendant and the opposite one, the 7th house. First house, 7th house. We are talking about house aspects here. I would put it as time experience in time will be the person who has more dominant planets or points in this axis, the 1-7 axis, because they are very strongly in the moment. The axis of time passes through you, so to speak. And that's the way they perceive it. Whereas the through time person has more on the 4-10 axis, the 4th house and the 10th house. Because they are perceiving on an objective level. It's almost as if the ascendant or your head is perceiving the 4th house and the 10th house in a sort of stand back mode, in an objective fashion. You can also extend this axis argument to the lords of the first house and the 7th house. For example, if the lords of the first house and 7th house are bundled together, sitting together, conjunct, and are in the 1-7 axis, it is very strong. If it's in other houses, it becomes a little less strong. If the 4-10 axis, same thing. If the lords of the 4th and the 10th house are bunched together or in one of those houses, it becomes dominantly through time people. In time people typically make very good experiences of time in their life because they are in the moment all the time. They don't remember much about past or future as age goes by because they are always in time. You see how this works both ways. The through time people, on the other hand, live in a lot of memories because they are objective in nature. They can recount events and perceive events, see events in their memory as they grow older, as past and as future. So these people live in memories and these people live in the present moment. You see how important this gets when you want to study the psychology of a person. So if you are a child counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist of any dispensation, you might want to download this and take it for your clients, for example. How they perceive time will dictate in a certain way how they will interact with the rest of the world. Really speaking, that's all it comes down to. But this is more of an axis perspective, 1-7 axis, first house, 7th house for end time, 4th house, 10th house for through time. Take this test, make it fun, don't make it too serious a thing. We all are born with different propensities, different portions of it. There's nothing like a thoroughly 1-7 axis. Sometimes we need to plan. It's more of a question of percentages difference, dominant aspect of personality, you might say. Okay. So the download links are in the description box, and leave your comments if you perceive something in astrology as well, because I'm trying to make a bridge here between astrology, natal chart, as well as your psychology. Do this, take the test, and let me know what you think. Take care. Be safe.